One. Let's go. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm the host, Mitch Chilson, and I am joined by the legend that is John Wayne Parr. Little do you know that the nickname is actually John, right? And the real name is
No.
Wayne
Oh, yeah,
Parr.
yeah. Yeah, this is true. Yeah, the real name is Wayne. And then when I was in Thailand, everybody has a fight name. And the Thai's like, what are we going to call you? I said, oh, well, I grew up on horse farms. Oh, so you're a cowboy. So you're John Wayne. I'm like, that sucks. From now on, you're going to be John Wayne. I go, oh, no. So I thought, I'll just be John Wayne in Thailand. And when I get back to Australia, I'll go back to being like the Punisher or something like really cool. And then I got famous, and then the name stuck, and I'm like, oh no, now I'm stuck with this name. Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah,
not such a bad thing. It's a great
yeah,
name. I absolutely love it.
yeah.
Um, I mean, you're a multi-time world champion. You've done really everything there is to do in the sport of Muay Thai. Now you're a coach training. I just saw you working with some high-level guys. You were working with Jake Matthews just the other day, which is pretty cool, out of Australia, and he competes in that other organization, some small-time thing that we won't talk about. But how's life? How's life out there in Queensland?
Yeah, it's amazing. So last fight was 1X, and then yeah, so I'm in transition of being in retirement. It's been almost it's just over 2 years. Yeah, having to go from everyday training to striving for that next fight over and over and over. The only thing that ever mattered before in my life was when my next fight will be. And then now that it's no longer in my life, it's like so bizarre not to be in the gym and training twice a day and constantly trying to get better and better. So, but now my main focus is helping my kids expand their knowledge in the martial arts and to watch them grow and to watch them prosper and all the students in the gym. So it's not quite fighting, but I still get a buzz out every day out of seeing everyone coming in, having a good sweat, and having a good time. So that's my life now.
Well, how did you know it was time to hang it up? A lot of people stay at the party too long, and I think you retired a couple of times, right? Like
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
hung it up a few times, but they're just that itch is still there. How did you know that this was it?
The first time I retired, I was just practically burnt out. I just needed a break, so I retired. I had 6 months off, and then I realized how much I loved the sport. And then when I came back, it was no longer a job. I came back because I enjoyed it so much. The second time I retired, it was my hip. I could barely walk. I was in agony 24/7, sleeping hurt, breathing hurt, blinking hurt. So, and then I got the replacement, and then all of a sudden it's like, I can train again. So then I had the two more fights for one against Nicky and against Edward Young. And then when I fought Edward, I was 45 years old. I was at that stage in my life where I still loved it as much as anything, but I knew that I was getting a bit long in the tooth. And unfortunately, this is a young man's sport. You can't be a 45-year-old competing against 20-year-olds. This doesn't work like that. So it was very tough to stop. I still miss it every single day. Every single day, I just wish I could compete again. But yeah, like it was time. So now, yeah, reading, adjusting, and trying to make life fun still.
Yeah, but you get to live vicariously through your kids now. Your son is a top level BJJ guy. Your daughter's fighting in boxing and Muay Thai. That must be very, very proud. You know, it must be just an amazing experience to coach your kids through the same thing that you went through.
Yes, my oldest is almost 21, so she's boxing. My son's almost 16, and he's jiu-jitsu. Once he turns 16, he's allowed to start competing in MMA here in Australia. So that's his main focus. And then I have a little 10-year-old, and she's Muay Thai. So three kids with three different disciplines, all fight sports, but all different styles. Um, but yeah, it makes it very exciting, especially with my son doing jiu-jitsu, going to the competitions and being involved in a whole new community with all the Brazilians and all the just seeing how family oriented it is, meeting the different parents and the different trainers, and in that respect, it's a whole new world for me to be part of that world. But I'm so excited that I can be not only a fighter but a martial artist. So that's the main thing, is having that big group community that all coming together.
Well, how do you teach them to be mentally strong? I know that was always one of your key attributes, was the incredible toughness that you had mentally. How do you pass that along to your fighters and your kids? What are you doing to condition them mentally?
I think I was very lucky that my kids were old enough to see me prepare for my fights, seeing how dedicated I was to never missing a session, always putting in 100%. And then hopefully through my hard work, they can see what I've achieved. And then hopefully that can inspire them that they know that nothing's going to be given to them for free. If they want something bad enough, they're going to have to work for it. And then hopefully that I've instilled that into them. And then it seems like I don't even have to tell my kids to come to the gym or come to train. They're the ones that always, hey, let's go. It's gym time. Or I pick up my little 10-year-old from school. We go straight home, quick change of clothes, straight in the car, straight to the gym to train by 4. So they know now, and they can see it by themselves. They can see how much they put in the gym, how much rewarding it is for when they get the results and the trophies and the medals. So yeah, it's really cool, and I'm very lucky to be fortunate to have been there before. So whenever time they feel down, I can help inspire them to lift them back up again, to show them that or you might have had a bad session today, but you need the bad session to appreciate the good sessions. So just little things like that that keep inspiring them to not to give up, and then yeah, to live that martial art lifestyle. And eventually, hopefully, they'll start traveling more and seeing the world and competing in different countries, and that's when the rewards really pay off.
But what advice do you have for people that are struggling in their own jobs or their own fight career? How do they get mentally stronger? You're kind of like a do as I do, not as I say kind of guy, and people can look up to you because of your past actions. But what if they don't have that ability to, come out there to Boon Chu, Queensland, and train with you on the Gold Coast and run around that amazing shoreline that you got? How do they get stronger mentally? What advice do you have for people out there that are struggling right now?
It's martial arts is one of those things where it's about the desire. It's how bad you want it. It's like myself. I wanted to be a champion more than I wanted to breathe. So when it came to moving to Thailand and being away from my friends and my family and being isolated by myself in a country where no one speaks English, sleeping on the floor. Every time I got down, I just remind myself that this is what I wanted. This is my dream. If I want to become a champion, I have to put myself through the trenches. I have to make myself uncomfortable, and then all I can see is the future of becoming a champion. So training 6-7 hours a day. If that's what I have to do to become somebody up the top, then that's what I have to do to achieve.
Why Thailand? Why did you come here and put yourself through this way before it was way before it was hip, right? Like, I mean, now everybody's coming out here to train and to live this fighter lifestyle. You were doing it in like the early 90s, right? Like, this
Yeah,
is, I mean, you're old school. You're an original gangster when it
yeah.
comes to this beautiful country. Why did you decide to pursue this dream of being a fighter?
I remember back in the early '90s, I just started my career. I was still, yeah, still very green. And then my Thai trainer used to have VHS tapes of Lumpini, and Lumpini was so famous, and all the superstars, and then just to seeing the caliber of how great the Thais were compared to the Westerners. And then with my sponsorship, I was very lucky to be sponsored by a Thai gentleman who seen my hunger for the sport. So he sponsored me to move to Thailand for originally 6 months. I said, I don't want you going for 1 week or 1 month because you're not going to create that muscle memory. So it's best to go long term so everything becomes just second nature, an automatic reflex. So I went for 6 months, and that was amazing. I did really well. I had 5 fights for 5 wins. And then once you're in Thailand, you realize that this isn't a hobby. This is a full-time job. This is not just for fun and games. This is serious. This is business. The camp that I was in Bangkok, they were very secretive. They'd put sheets up on the fence so no one could peekaboo over the fence to see the training because there was such big bets on the line as well. And then sometimes it'd be my gym against your gym, and it could be $1 million bet or a 500,000 baht bet. And then, uh, yeah, it's so important that every time you win, your prize money would go up just a little bit, but every time you lose, it would go down just as much. So, and then it was in the gym's best interest for you to train as hard as possible 6, sometimes 7 days a week, 7 hours, 6, 7 hours a day. Um,
What?
and then they get 50% of your prize money. So it's not just for you, but it's also financially rewarding that they push you harder, so they get the 50% of your money. So they're happy to whip the dead horse even when you're so tired and so sore, but they want to see you prosper as well. So it was so hard but so rewarding at the same time.
What year was this?
This was 96. I first moved to 96 when I was just 19 years old. And then
Okay, so 1996.
my Thai trainer, after a couple of years of living in the Bangkok, he mentioned you're the first one to do this. All the Westerners come for 1 month, they go home. 2 months maybe, go home. But you've been here 3, 4 years now, and you're the first Westerner to really stay here full time. So I'm very proud that I sort of raised the bar for the Westerners, that if they want to be successful, that you have to stay long term, and not just enjoy the sport, but make it a way of life. Make it, yeah. So when you wake up in the morning, there's no hitting the snooze button. I'm excited to get up to put my shoes on and start my run so I can start my day, because I want to be famous. I want to be a champion. And the only way to do that is to put the hours into the gym and into the pads and listen to the trainers. So yeah, there wasn't one single day that I'd make up excuses not to train. I was excited to train. That's why I miss it so much, because now that I've stopped, it's like, it feels like I'm missing a limb. I'm so used to waking up and getting in there and sweating and being exhausted that live a normal lifestyle is so bizarre to me. Yeah,
So this was like, I mean, we're closing in on 30 years ago. Like
yeah.
it's
I
been a
actually
long time.
I started martial arts in 1987 at Taekwondo. So yeah, 35 years of grinding away and Taekwondo first, and moving to kickboxing at the age of 13, and now, yeah, 35 years of training, competing, traveling, and then yeah, I got to live my dream multiple times over. So 35 years of amazing memories.
I got to train with a lot of world champions and Thai instructors at Evolve Mixed Martial Arts in Singapore. And I always had a problem with the language barrier. And I was kind of stubborn and I didn't really commit to learning the Thai language, but you fully immersed yourself in Thailand and also you speak fluent Thai, correct?
Yes, about 90%. It was when I first moved to Thailand. I went to Pattaya for 3 months, and Pattaya was amazing. It's like a very Western sort of tourist destination, and everyone spoke English, so there was no urgency to learn. And then 3 months after being in Siyu I had the opportunity to move to Bangkok and train with Sang Ten Noi. And then once I got to Bangkok, uh, how can I pronounce it? So I was almost like the only Westerner in my whole city, and then no one spoke English because there's no Westerners, so no one had to learn. So
Yeah.
walking down to the shops, and then just you can only do hand signals, shower, sleepy, hungry for so long, and then you realize I really need to learn this language. So my best effort was to try and learn 5 words a day. So I'd ask, okay, what's this? What's this? What's this? And then every night I lay on my pillow and I go through those 5 words over and over. Next thing, all right, new 5 words. Okay, what's this? What's this? What's this? And then the Thais would send me on little adventures to the shops with the sentence, Pom Dongan Nam Kang Nung Tung, I want 1 bag of ice. So as I'm walking to the shop, just going over my head, Nam Kang Nung Tung, Nam Kang Nung Tung. And then I've got a sentence. Oh, we do that. Now, if I change the word to ice to something else, now I can ask him something, and then being polite. Okay, how do I say sorry? How do I say thank you? How do I say all these little things? And then after about 6 months, I could hold my own. I could be confident to jump in a bus and travel somewhere, and I could barter with the money. And then in the gym, we used to have songs playing in the background as we were training, and then it would always be the same songs and always the same beat. And I really become a fan of the songs. So I went down to the music place, and I bought a CD. So I liked it so much. I put in the CD player, I press play, then pause. Then I get my little pen and paper, and I write down in English, Pom, P-O-M, Dongan, D-O-N-G. And then I memorize the whole album. So when we go to a karaoke bar as a whole gym, I put my hand up. I asked the gentleman that was running the karaoke, hey, can I please sing this song? And they're like, Are you sure? Yes, yes, yes. Can I do this one? So then I get the microphone, and then as soon as I started singing Thai, everyone's like, I get everyone in the whole bar's attention because the only white guy in the pub, and then people start coming out, and they start little, and then more people coming. Then by the end of the song, the whole dance floor would be full. It was amazing. And then the guy running the karaoke place, he'd be going, "Do you know any more songs?" I said, "Mate, I know the whole album. You want to do another one? I'd love to do another one. What one? Oh, let's do one." And then yeah, it was. I thought as soon as I retire from Muay Thai, I'm going to be a Thai singer. This is a 19-year-old kid's dream back then. So yeah, but unfortunately, I never didn't get to live that dream. I got to be a Thai boxer instead. So, but in the back of my every now and again, I still put the Thai songs in the gym, and I still have a little sing along with everyone. So yeah, it's good times. It was so much fun back in the day.
You're still entertaining millions
Yeah,
of Thai people, regardless of
yeah,
whether you're singing or you're
yeah,
punching or whatever it is you're doing.
yeah.
How much of a difference do you think made you learning the Thai language on you learning Muay Thai? Because now they could communicate with you, and like, how big of an impact did that have on your progress as a Muay Thai fighter?
Oh, I think it definitely helped. And I think the main thing that helped was being local. So instead of having to fly me from Australia to come and compete, I was only half an hour from Lumpini. So I got picked up by the number one promoter, Songchai, and then he promoted me approximately 30 times across Bangkok, not only in the stadiums and the King's birthdays, but also on the outskirts shows where they do a promotion in the park. And then because of the promotion, the promoter will make all his money from the TV rights. So the promotion will be for free. So if you're in the country and you can't get to Bangkok, this is your opportunity to come and see the Stars fight live, all for free. So they get like between 40,000, 60,000, 80,000, and then the King's birthday would have crowds of over 100,000 people in the middle of Bangkok. So yeah, so fighting the first time fighting in front of 40,000 was so terrifying. But then you do it so often, it just becomes a normal activity. Oh, another 60,000, here we go again. Um, but yeah, it was so crazy to be the only Westerner fighting Muay Thai in Thailand against the Thai, and to be accepted by the Thais, to get a massive applause before the fight, after the fight, to get high five from the kids as you're walking back to the change room. Um, I found no racism. I found only acceptance. That the Thais, if you can prove that you belong in their sport, they will take you in and make you one of their own. So, and my Thai trainer, he too, he said, I don't want you to be a Thai fighter. I want you to be a Thai. I want to teach you our mannerisms, our how to speak to older people, how to be polite. I want the Thai people to love you. And then I'm so lucky that even to this day, people might go to Thailand for a holiday and they come back. Hey, I mentioned I was an Aussie. Oh, John Wayne. So everyone's still gets the hey, the taxi driver knew who you were. I'm like, whoa. Even all these years later, it's still so humbling to have left my mark and my legacy in such a great country.
Yeah, they say you die twice. Once when
Ah,
you pass away, and once when they last mention your name. And I'm sure that your name will live on in the histories of Muay Thai for
ah.
forever. And
Yes, I
it's
hope so.
exciting to have you here. But what, man, 100,000 people? I fought in front of 17,000 at RNet Stadium in the Philippines, and that was wild. But 100,000 people,
Yeah.
describe that type of feeling.
So I did that four times. The first time was in '97. I'd have that was my ninth fight for the year. And then back then there was no walkway from the change room to the ring, so would have to on the way to the stadium we'd have to park the car half an hour from the venue. Would have to walk to the stadium in between 100,000 people going from shoulder to shoulder. Excuse me, coming through, and then after a half an hour getting through the crowd, and then you see the big they had a tent there for the as a change room. So we get to the tent, and there's a little bit of string just to stop the Thai crowd from coming in and invading our space. So we'd go and then you're in a big tent, 40-degree heat, and the people would be like 10, 15 deep trying to look over each other's shoulders to see her get her hands wrapped, to see us warming up. Because it was the first time of them sort of being that close to the fighters that they cheer for on the TV. So and then when it was your turn, all right, John Wayne, you're next. So you start, we'd have to get a police escort from the change room to the ring. So it'd be probably 15 minutes, so shimmering through the crowd, going, excuse me, coming through, excuse me. And then, and then they like to have things flowing. So you'd have to get to the ring and sit on the edge of the ring until the other fight finished. And as they come down, you'd go up. So there's no fight music. There was no call outs. It was just non-stop action. So you're
Yeah.
sitting there, and then you climb up in the ring. And 97, the first time I climbed up in the ring, and that's the first time I could see just the ocean ahead. As far as I could see, all around the ring was just people. And it's like, oh no, this is too. And then I went to start my Ramoy dance, and then I felt my knees just go on me. It's like, oh no, don't go now. Oh, this is not a good time to get the weak legs. And then round one started, and I started a little bit too fast, a bit too emotional. And then by the fifth round, I was a little bit gassed, and I fell over in the clinch twice, which cost me the fight. Before that, I was sort of just might be winning, super close. And then the second time I did it was 99, and I got mentally prepared. I make sure I don't poop myself this time. Next week, this time, how often do you get the fight in front of 100,000 people? So go out there and enjoy it. So I remember we walked out. Now they had a runway from the change room. So now you walk up into the runway, and then you can see everyone. And as you're walking towards the ring, just take a big breath, just absorb it all. This is amazing. I can't believe this is happening. And then I ended up winning the next three Kings birthdays in a row. So it was so humbling to you get the victory, the referee raises your hand, and hear the ovation from the crowd that they're actually supporting the Westerner to beat the Thai. And even when I won my world title against Orono, um, it was so it was just the dream to get the hand raised and get the belt put on by the general from the army, and it was just words can't describe the emotions, because it's not only in front of 100,000 people, live on Thai TV as well. So the next day you might go down to the shopping center and stuff, and all of a sudden everyone starts surrounding you and want to touch you and get a photo and a selfie, and it's like, I'm getting accepted by it. This is the dream. I've been dreaming this for so long, and now it's happening. So um, it's so rewarding to fulfill your destiny.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Oh, Orono, he was one of my
I
coaches
don't
at
know.
Evolve, man.
Oh, really? Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah, I remember him talking about your fight. It was, and then to see how things come full circle. I remember watching you in 2008 at the Singapore Indoor Stadium when you fought Yodsenklai,
Yes, and glad.
and
Yes.
that was like the first time I was like that close. And
Ah,
Chevello was on the mic, he was announcing it, and then you were in the ring, and then I was like in the cheap seats way up in
ah,
the Singapore Indoor Stadium. It was absolutely amazing to see you do your thing in your
yeah.
like in your peak. It was
And then so
talk.
thankful to one championship to be able to go back there and fight in that same stadium two more times. It was because I forgot the name of the stadium, and then, oh, you've been here before. Like, oh, this is the same stadium. I thought, this is amazing. This is so good. And that's when I fought Nikki was still COVID time, COVID era.
Yeah,
So I remember in the back room. All right, so when you walk down to the cage, take your backpack with you, because you're not going to go back to the change room. You're going to go straight from the cage, straight to the van, straight back to the hotel. It's like, whoa. And not only being four
yeah,
fighters at a time, as one fighter would go, the next fighter would come in. Just, the COVID era was so bizarre. It was so weird, but
it, yeah, I
yes,
remember.
yo. And then walking down the runway and having no one in the stadium besides the cornermen, the referees, and the
Yeah.
MC. It was, very bizarre times.
So one is rapidly changing kind of the state of Muay Thai. What do you think about this new entertainment style, Muay Thai, the sport that you help build and develop all around the world? What do you think now of this faster paced, exciting version of the sport you love so much, Muay Thai?
Yes, so 2012, I was such a big MMA fan. Every weekend I was buying the pay-per-views and always on the internet and always seeing, watching the stars. I thought, oh, how can I be a part of this? This is the new era. Muay Thai was good. I love Muay Thai, but I'm not getting any exposure. So I thought I'll try this jiu-jitsu and then see if I can transition into the MMA. Yeah, so I did my very first jiu-jitsu class just in a gym just around the corner. And then my very first roll, I snapped my finger in half. It was literally going backwards. And then we put my finger back in. And then that night, I'm laying in bed, just so upset. I'm thinking, I've done 30 plus years in Muay Thai. I've never had an injury. I do one jiu-jitsu class. I break my finger. This sucks. Um, but even though I've got a broken finger, I still want to fight in the cage. I want to feel what it's like to be locked in the cage, and So I went to YouTube and I thought, I wonder if anyone's doing Muay Thai in the cage. And then there was a couple, but they were wearing the big 10-ounce gloves in the cage. And I was like, well, if I want to try and do this, I have to wear MMA gloves because if I want to get the respect from the MMA fans, how are they going to respect me if I'm wearing big gloves and they're wearing little ones? So I thought, okay, I'm going to do this myself. I'm gonna hire a cage instead of a ring. And then I went to I tried probably 10 different brands of MMA glove. And then I ended up going with like a MMA sparring glove, which was a 6 ounce instead of a 4. So I had a little bit more padding, only for the fact that because we were standing and striking for the whole 5 rounds, I didn't want anyone to get seriously hurt or damaged or anything bad. So I went with the 6 ounces. And then I sat in the crowd and watched the undercard first for our first show. And then just it didn't matter if it was the first fight all the way up to my last fight. The energy in the room was just so different compared to a normal Muay Thai in the ring because I think everyone was wearing the MMA gloves. Everyone knew that every single punch was a potential knockout. So no one was holding back. Everyone was going like so exciting. I thought, this is it. This is the future. So we ended up doing 10 promotions here in Australia. I lost money on my last 2. So I didn't know. I did the whole promotion, and about 3 days before our event, someone said, "Oh, do you hear about the monster trucks coming?" And I didn't know the monster trucks were like 2 kilometers from where I was, and everyone was going to the monster trucks. So as I'm walking so I was not only was the promoter, but I was the main event. So as I was walking to the ring, the cage, sorry, just seeing like half the grandstand empty, just going, "Oh no, I've lost money." And then I thought, well, I've lost money this time. I'll do another show, and then hopefully that'll make up for the money that I've lost this one. And then I lost again. I had something else was on down the road that I didn't see. So I thought, as much as I love this, I can't afford to do this anymore. I don't have the sponsors. I don't have the credibility. And then I'm so blessed that Mr. Chatri's taken my idea and put it on the world stage. And now look at where the Muay Thai is now. It's now the #1 show in Thailand. It's so exciting. And it's changed the style. Instead of being a kick-oriented sport, now everyone's going, "Oh, new toys! What are these?" So and then when you go to the highlights on the One Championship page, just seeing the crazy knockouts and the crazy fights and the crazy comebacks, I'm so proud of where Muay Thai is now and making stars like Nong O and Superbon and Tawanachai, and just to see the Thais finally get the opportunity to shine because they've been superstars for so long, but have no platform to show how amazing they are. And thanks to One and Mr. Chatri, it's so good to see Muay Thai finally getting the recognition it deserves. So yeah, I couldn't be prouder.
What do you think is going to change in the sport of small gloves Muay Thai? You're the guy that created it. Now you're seeing it kind of evolve. You're saying these are new toys. People are thinking about, adding in different types of striking sports, like how boxing and the head movement is, implementing itself. Where do you see this kind of going? And what do you think we're going to see as far as developments in small gloves Muay Thai?
I think a little bit of change in the style. I knew when I started wearing the gloves, just training him, that how I don't know if you can see on the telly, but when you hold the boxing gloves, there's too many holes. So instead of closed fists, now we're open palms. They have a tighter guard to the hook slip past the shoulder, and more light on the feet footwork because you can't get caught in the pocket once you finish your combination. If you stand there, they're going to come back with a counter. So I think it's going to help develop the fighter's IQ to be more aware and more cautious of just jumping in and being reckless. Otherwise, you can get caught with a counter on the way in. And every single punch is a potential knockout punch. So there's very unforgiving. You make one mistake and it could be lights out.